You're the director of the International Business Development. Can you just short describe what organization that is?
Yes. I work for KA European Affairs, which is basically a research company, a think tank for the culture and creative industries. We're based in Brussels, and what we do is we carry out a lot of research, but we also work as activists for the culture and creative sector. And in addition to that, we're busy with a number of projects all over Europe.
As activists, what issues are you working on at the moment?
Well, as activists, we're now at the moment working on a project to increase the international cooperation between artists and artistic entrepreneurs all over the world. So we just organized an event in Namur and in Belgium. And the next one will be in China. So it's there to get all policymakers, business people, creators, all together, and banks that could finance projects and collaboration.
You mentioned when you talked in the auditorium before the problems with the huge corporations dominating the communications and the cultural scene. Could you please describe what you meant by that?
Yeah, okay, that's quite simple. So some time ago, it was like 15 years ago, the EU adopted legislation on copyright. But at the same time, it adopted legislation on e-commerce. And this e-commerce legislation indicated that platforms would not be responsible for content just passing by their platforms, like a tube. But at the end of the day, that was in the beginning of the internet, so, it was okay. But then we have had companies like Google and YouTube's that have started using that directive, EU legislation, to get rid of liability and not to pay for the artists. So a lot of stuff that's on YouTube, music, and there is a lot of music, 80% of the people that go to YouTube go for the music. Basically, the artists are not necessarily paid unless you sue them, and then you can get an agreement. So, for example, a songwriter who has had a #1 hit in Europe, he gets 3 million clicks on YouTube. YouTube said, yeah, we're promoting you, so you'll make a lot of money. They put some advertising next to it, and then at the end of the day, he gets his bill. And do you know how much he gets for 3 million clicks? €5. So, that's not sustainable. And that's why what we are asking now is to make platforms that are playing a very, very active role in creating content, in grouping them together and monetizing it, for them also to pay the artists. And it's about that.
Do we need new legislation for this?
Yes, we need to clarify in legislation that they cannot say we're not liable, because that was the European legislation. So we need to transform this legislation and saying, yes, if you play an active role on platforms and you're communicating all this content to the public, you also pay the artists. You get a lot of money yourself through advertising. At least it should be fair that the artists get paid, like they get paid on Spotify.
So what's the future, would you say, for the creative and cultural industries in Europe?
The future can look good if copyright is protected, and because if not, it's a lot of policy making, measures. But the real asset of anybody working in the creative sector is intangible, and copyright is their means actually to make money. So you can license, you can use my book, you can use my music, you can use my film, you can use my design. So copyright is a way of licensing your rights and exploiting them. If you think they're not worth anything, then okay, who's going to pay? You're not obliged. So protect that first, and then you can do all the rest. I'll be short.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. Thank you.
You're welcome.